Hi, I'm Pastor Anthony Alfeatro of the Grace Alliance from Bethel Online Ministry. And today I would like to share with you how I personally know I'm called into ministry. But before I do, I would like to share with you an experience that I had of hearing God's voice. So after learning the 4 keys of hearing God's voice, first is stillness of mind, uh, having vision, spontaneous thoughts coming from God, and journaling. I want to try this method out for myself. First, I went deep into prayer, and I asked God to clear my thoughts and let me be able to hear what He was trying to tell me. And after my prayer, images started to flutter into my thoughts and arrange themselves in such a way I cannot explain. After those images were complete, I was told to get up, get up, get up now, He said. So I got up and drew what I seen. I seen a shepherd blowing a trumpet. And instead of sound coming out of that trumpet, a vine sprouted forth. A vine grew right out of the trumpet. And at the end of the vine, a flower blew. And I seen sheep next to the shepherd, and a pile of snakes and snarling wolves to the right of the shepherd. So this was the confirmation of what I must do, because I prayed for God to show me what I must do. He told me to get back preaching Jesus, so people's faith will bloom, and guard the sheep from the Pharisees and the false teachers. And this is something that I can't say no to. I was moved in my spirits in such a way that there's no other option but to comply. So now I turn back to the story of how I know I'm called into ministry. Back years ago, after I hurt my back and I had to quit my job, I sat around in depression and self-pity for myself. So I started to search for an answer. I went back to church, attending church, and got interested in the Bible. After a while, I started to see so much confusion in the body of the many member body of Christ, and false doctrine being taught in the churches. I seen that there was such a great need for preachers, because I seen so many churches closed down in my area. So I felt a great need to learn about the Bible. At first, I couldn't find where I could learn about the Bible because I couldn't afford schooling. Then I prayed to God to help me find where I could learn the Bible. After a while, one day, I was searching on the internet and I found COI. I thought to myself, is this too good to be true? So I took classes and I read my Bible as much as I could. I had such an urge to learn the Bible, I couldn't put it down. I read the Bible cover to cover that year. I read the Bible cover to cover 10 times in that year. After that, truth be told, I had no idea where God was going to take me on my journey. So now I would like to share how I knew I was called into ministry. Back when I seen such a great need for preachers in my area and that there was so much confusion, the urge wasn't some thought that I had of wanting to do this. I felt an urge that I needed to stand up and fulfill what was lacking in the church. It was always on my mind from the time I woke up in the morning to the time I laid my head on my pillow at night. I just couldn't ignore it, so I pursued after it. So now I would like to jump ahead and tell you about when I came to Bethel Online Ministry. There was a period where I wasn't preaching. I was only making videos on the internet to keep my dream alive. And back then, my brother, Pastor Irwin, tried to get me to help him, but now I realize God was calling me through him to help Pastor Irwin. But I rejected God calling And those few years, I was most miserable. That is one of the signs of God calling you. You feel miserable and guilty. You aren't doing His work. You feel like there's something undone. Something's not finished. Something's um, something's come amiss. But as 2020 neared, Pastor Owen asked me again, and as he encouraged me, God drew me closer and closer to His calling that He has for me. A month ago, I experienced the confirmation of what God told me. What a month ago, I experienced the confirmation of what God told me. What I must do. It's something I cannot explain. It's something I cannot ignore. It's something I cannot deny. There is no other option. I was moved in my spirits in such a way that I'm sure of this. I never felt it before. I know it was my emotions. I cannot explain it. All I know that it wasn't natural. So this happened after I applied the 4 keys of hearing God's voice, which is stillness and calm in mind, looking for vision, spontaneous thoughts, and journaling. And I'm a firm believer in it, and it works. How I know I'm called is because I was moved in my spirit in such a way I knew it was Him. I have a longing in my soul to learn the Bible and to teach it. And I have seen the fruit of the Lord's work in my calling. And I cannot sleep until I accomplish the work God has me to do for that day. And I cannot ignore what He wants me to accomplish until I do it for that day. Well, thanks for listening to my testimony for God's calling in my life. And I hope it blesses you as much as it has blessed me. God bless.